thing's not even on. I'm dying. All right. Let me fix this really quick. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the download bar.
To jail. Welcome to jail.
Welcome to jail. Yeah. We're supposed to play Halo 2, but my game decided to download right now. So, or I guess there was a huge patch, which looks like some really fun, cool stuff for those who play this game a lot, but I don't. So this is just a hassle. But anyways, yeah, we'll wait for that to finish. I think this is working now. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna be playing Halo 2 with Mr. Wace. How's it going, sir?
Doing alright, doing alright.
It's good.
Surviving.
Just vibing.
Vibing and surviving.
What the hell does that mean? I was kidding. Oh man, I shouldn't have eaten those vanilla gummies, whatever. I don't know. It was poison. It was just poison.
That sounds disgusting and it sounds
It tastes like
gelatin.
those. It was gelatin, but it tastes like those peach rings. Remember those peach rings we used to eat a lot of? Thank you, Kiki, for subscribing. I always appreciate it. But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's giving me heartburn. I can't eat those anymore. It is just not possible. I'll be right back. Grab some water really quick. Entertain them. All right, bye.
Hello, everyone. This is your intermittent broadcast saying stay away from drugs, go to school, educate your children, make right choices, and thank you very much.
Wow, that was beautiful.
You're welcome.
Ugh. All right. All right. I don't know what to do while we wait. We can go on the internet, do some stupid stuff. I don't know.
Waddle around, I don't know.
Let's see what we got. I'll wait for this to load.
Would you mind sharing your stream as well so I can see?
No, that would be stupid. Why would I do that?
I don't know. Why would you do that?
There you go.
Hey, appreciate it.
Alright. So apparently there's an update to Phasmophobia. Big one.
And what's added to this update?
Well, they've only released half of it apparently, and they're gonna release another big half. But apparently they're adding sunrise, so like you can hunt in the middle of like a sunrise. There's just a lot of quality of life updates, I guess.
What does that mean?
Quality of life. It's like things
Yeah.
that make the game more fun and more enjoyable to like things are more efficient, right? Like say like a Monster Hunter, we got a lot of quality of life updates when they would add like being able to move while you heal. Like those kind of things.
That's smart. I mean, I guess that could be more enjoyable, not having to stand there and heal while the ghost is hunting.
Yeah.
I could see that. That's good.
So like quality of life on Phasmophobia is like being able to see the crucifix's range when you put down a crucifix, or trying to think what else. I would see if I can pull up the patch notes while this. I don't even know how long this thing's gonna take. Maybe you should just start us off and share your screen.
Me? I can't share my screen.
¿Por qué no?
Because
right,
it's on...
because you're on your phone.
I'm planning on getting a new screen, a secondary screen, so when I do that, then it's possible. But as it is right now, I can't.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Alright. It says for let's see. For Phasmophobia. They've changed smudge sticks. They have the burn effect has been improved. Haunted mirrors effects visibility has been improved. Improved glow stick model and effects. Transparent objects and effects will now receive shadows and lights. Resetting your save file will now wipe your cloud back up. Okay, well, I don't think that's improved performance on campsite maps. Fingerprints have been moved on willow doors to be more consistently placed. Radios are now interactable with the breaker off. Just like little stuff. And my YouTube is also not working.
Oh, my dog's passing gas. It's just like little toots coming out of her, and just it stink. God, you stink. You stink.
Disgusting.
Okay.
Let's watch
the
this.
Story of Sisyphus.
I don't know if this is good, but let's watch it. There you go, everybody. Some content.
Is among the most well-known Greek
this shirt
myths.
is
in response
like
to
D&D
cheating death,
monsters and stuff.
Sisyphus is forced to roll a boulder up a steep hill. Once he nears the top of the hill, the boulder rolls back down, leading Sisyphus to toil in futility as he repeats the exercise for eternity. The absurdity of these actions are hard to miss, as he is completing an arduous task only to be rewarded with having to do it again. In many respects, the fate of Sisyphus parallels speedrunning. Speedrunners, taskers, and glitch hunters spend hundreds of hours trying to improve world records, only to start this process anew once they achieve their goal. There are few things as quintessential to speedrunning as when the runner sets a new world record, only to
I never liked it.
talk about how
I mean,
terrible it is.
yeah, it's cool to get through the game like quickly, but it's like, are you really even playing the game at that point?
Well, it's more of a thing where you've already played the game normally and you enjoyed it,
speedrunners get better at the game,
but you're now trying to, like, you know, be efficient about how you play the game. Like, you shouldn't speedrun the game if it's your first time playing it, right?
Yeah.
You know, coming from a guy that does do that sometimes.
But the runner has come
Mhm.
that the time they obtain
But,
is
like,
not representative of
the
their
real
potential,
speedrun, I think, should
leading
be
them to begin
after
to trek
you
back up the hill
play the
again.
game a few times.
The
'Cause,
absurdity
I mean, you
of
gotta
speedrunning
become really
only
good at it,
increases
right? You
the
gotta
further the hill you
become.
go. But before we start, I don't like to show for
You gotta
likes or
understand
subs, so here's some
everything
guy from
about the
Fiverr
game.
or something to do it for me.
So if you end up liking this video,
Yeah.
consider subscribing.
I mean,
You can always
I'm
change
assuming that the speedrunners, like you said, enjoyed the, like, played through the game quite a few times to, like, really enjoy it. That way, you know, they can actually,
But where the absurdity of grinding
they know what to
records
expect
is
as far as the levels go, so that's why they can do what they do.
Mario Kart 64 is
Yeah.
so well enough known for its tedious, low
They can
odds
cut the
gameplay
corners
that
because they know where the corners are at.
its own summoning
Yeah.
salt video. But Calamari Desert contains a skip even more tedious. The fence clip is a trick where runners would line up to bash their heads into a wall in the hopes that they would miraculously clip through. Due to the precision of the trick, the odds of clipping were estimated to be 1 in 90,000. It takes roughly 25 seconds for a runner to reset an attempt and drive back to this point in the track. If a runner were to match the odds and finally get the trick on their 90,000th attempt, it would take them 37,500 minutes or about 26 days
like
of
those,
constant attempts to get the trick.
neutrinos
But even at
passing through your
90,000
body
attempts,
and
a
stuff like that.
successful attempt is only
There's like a slight
expected
chance they can cause something
63.2% of the time.
bad to
In
happen.
order to expect the trick to have happened over 99%,
But we don't think about that. We just go about it.
14,464 attempts would need to be performed.
Well, I mean, I
with
think
just
it's more
about
they mess with electronics,
120
but who
days.
knows if they could ever
The
mess
fact
with
that a
brains.
trick like this was
Probably
even considered in the realm of what a human could perform was absurd enough. But the
Who
fact that it was
knows?
done
I
twice
don't
is even
know.
crazier.
No.
The first time
Knows.
ends in tragedy. The
Knows.
video begins with Mr. Pitt Jr. pulling up the task of the trick being performed,
You mean
trying to
check
glean
the
any
time
information
on
from
this
it.
really
He would
quick?
continue to look at reference material over the course of his stream, highlighting how early in his journey he was.
My God. All right. Well,
Let me look at the
something
video
at
for
least.
this. It's gonna be different.
What was it up?
This is like the
10
task
minutes.
version, so I had to look at this.
Oof. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad, but still.
Task.
So close to the base of the hill, no one would expect anything to have happened yet, except at the 40-minute mark, something miraculous would.
By the way, I should like give credit to the person that made this video. Other Runs is his name. Check him out. This is my first time checking out this video. So. There's that.
Something miraculous quickly turned into a comedy of errors. In fewer than 100 attempts, he had achieved the trick only to muscle memory his way into pausing the run and resetting. He would later be discussing the trick with Abney, who is widely considered to
That
be Mario Kart
sucks.
64's best shortcuts runner. When Mr. Pitt very nonchalantly says that he had gotten the trick, nearly 6 months later, another runner would capture lightning in a bottle. Dossie would clip through the wall, avoid the pause button, and drive into both a clean fastest lap record of 22:12 and 3-lap record of 1:36:27. This occurred in only his 3,066th counted attempt, or what he estimates to be around 5,000 attempts overall. Combined, the community had put in over 50,000 attempts, meaning that there were still less than coin flip odds that the clip would be expected to happen even once, let alone twice. A moment like this should have been the end point. The odds of getting the trick twice in a run? Small, while the glory of being the first to achieve a world record was gone. The only thing that could have happened was someone trying to improve the record by getting the clip and driving better, which few would consider worth the hours invested. This wouldn't be the end though. Instead, the game would keep progressing. A mechanic that was known to exist for decades but was not fully understood was further examined in late 2020. By getting pushed into the ground, the game would push the player out. By jumping on this frame, the cart gains massive height. This would then be used to jump over a wall directly next to the starting line, causing Lackitude to put the cart back in bounds behind the starting line, with the conditions satisfied to gain a lap.
What?
Not only was this way faster than the fence clip, it was much easier. Since that point, the fastest lap record now stands at a 7:32, and the 3-lap record is a 37:74, completely shattering fence clip and the thousands of attempts committed.
But it's kind of silly
Fence
when you
clip
think
is
about it,
truly the
because
story of speedrunning.
what's
It
the
is
point?
story
Like,
of
the whole point
perfecting
is
what
to
you know, only
race
for what
the
you
track,
know to be
not
wrong. It
glitch
is
through
knowing that
walls and stuff
regardless
like
of
that.
how amazing an accomplishment is, there's
Yeah.
always a chance that something better could come around.
I mean, what do you do at that point if
There
you've
is a
done
debate
like
to be had
thousands and
over whether
thousands of
speedrunning
races?
is
You
a
know,
sport or an art. While
like
it
what else?
doesn't
What
neatly fit
what
into either
fun
group, there
is the
one
game at that
surprising
point?
commonality between all
Yeah.
of them. The prevalence of
I mean, I could
patrons.
see the fun in
sports,
figuring
a
out those
player signs a
little
contract
like
with
tricks
the
and stuff
owner
like
of
that,
the
but to
team,
say,
trading their services in
I
exchange
don't
for a
know,
certain
like to
amount of
say
money.
that it's
In art, many of the most notable works were created by
it's like
artists
I don't
that were
know, it's
funded by
weird
nobility,
because you
the
couldn't even
church,
you couldn't
or the
even
most
say it's not
affluent people
skill
of their
because it
kind.
is skill, like
The
to
Mona
find that
Lisa was
kind of
painted
stuff.
for a noble Italian
Oh, yeah.
family. The Sistine Chapel
But there's just
was,
something about it
surprisingly,
that just
funded by the Pope, and
seems
John Van Eyck was
off.
the beneficiary of the Duke of Bavaria and the
These
Duke
guys.
of Burgundy.
Look at this dude.
This practice also exists in speedrunning. As far back as the mid-2000s, people would place
Look at this
bounties on
guy.
various aspects of speedrunning. If there was a theoretical trick that someone wanted badly enough, they would place a bounty on its discovery. Especially in the early days of speedrunning, when live streaming attempts weren't an option, people would be so desperate to see high-quality runs that they would offer a bounty just to see someone speedrun a game. As speedrunning has become more popular and more accessible, these general speedrun bounties have morphed into rewards for obtaining world records. Popular Ratchet & Clank speedrunner Zem92 would offer up one such bounty. In May of 2019, after having held the record for 4 years, Zem put up $1,000, which would later be raised to over $1,500 following a community fundraiser, if anyone could beat his world record and hold it continuously for 10 days within the next year. While no one would accomplish this task, it still speaks volumes that a person would offer such a large sum of money for some competition. Still even bigger was, to everyone's surprise, an SM64 bounty for the game's 120-star category. After funding for a $4,000 bounty
been
fell
watching
through,
this.
a group came together, including the YouTuber EasyScape, and offered a $10,000 bounty progressively split up between the first 5 people to
Let's
obtain
see
a
if
verified
anybody has a video on this yet. Oh, one day.
Video on what?
Throughout the cycle of playing through Base Rise and Sun,
Oh,
there
the
really isn't any feeling of doubt
monster?
or
Yeah.
dismissal of the Yamatsu arriving in the 5th generation. Not
Oh, wait,
one
when does the,
soul in Sun's community feels
the next
uncertain
update come out?
or cynical
in
about
January.
the chances of the Yamatsu coming back. There were even a sizable amount of people who thought that she would have arrived earlier.
It said winter
But that
2023.
updated roadmap with the section Elder Dragon on it
Should be good,
absolutely
should be
puts
good.
any form of doubt to rest, especially with
I wonder if they did like an open-ended code, or is there only like 4 updates?
or how really appropriate she could be
think
in a
there's-
game like Rise.
I think the
The
5th one's
chances
gonna
of
be the
her
last
not
one.
coming back is actually the real surprise.
The one with the
and
Matsu?
not the other
I
way
think
around.
Amatsu is going to be the fastest one. What the hell is happening?
I really feel as though I'm a bit late to this discussion, since it's made the rounds about 2 or more weeks ago, but I will try to cover it now whilst it's still new. Basically, I've been so focused on the topic of Amatsu.
Man, a lot of
in
people
Total
liked
Update
Violet
4
Matsusune,
that
but I feel like
didn't really delve
it
in
needed
further
more.
towards other theories and news regarding the next update. First, I did know
Like what?
about this little rumor going
I don't
around
know,
before
like,
I did my
It
Amatsu
didn't
video
seem
last week.
too.
However, I
crazy.
didn't think much
It
of
had
it
some
due
crazy
to me
moves,
not
but,
really
like,
researching any further
It wasn't
into
like
this topic.
intense like all the
Secondly,
time.
a very
Still felt like
important
fighting
source
a
for
normal
this rumor on
Mitsune.
Reddit got deleted, unfortunately.
Like normal Mitsune
So
are
I'm
already
only
pretty
going by
tough.
summaries and posts from other people who have read the source. So any info that I will be reading off of might not be as concrete, so feel free to blame me for being late on this, otherwise I would have screen capped it. And lastly, this video will mainly revolve around speculation on the rumors rather than going into detail on the leaks and if they are legit. So we're basically gossiping on which
I like
potential
there's a lot of
monsters
people that
could
play
show up
Monster
in
Hunter,
Title
but they don't
Update
dress
4.
like they're even in that world.
Let's run it back from last week's video. I do feel, however, that Amatsu
No
is
wonder
an
the Monster Hunter movie
inevitability
was
for
a
the future
what
of
is
Sunbreak,
it?
so I'm
Isekai?
definitely sticking by her arrival.
Or
However,
Isekai?
for right now,
Isekai is
she'll
like when,
have to wait because
somebody
we've got
goes
a
from
lot
their
of
world
stuff to
to
go
another
over.
world.
Right, rumors. The TLDR of it
And it's
goes
always
like
the
this.
same gal, the
Few
girl that
months
plays
ago,
on Resident
data
Evil.
mines
Yeah,
were
because the
obtained
director,
predicting various
that's his
monsters,
wife.
and sure enough, they've been correct.
Oh, really?
It stated correctly that in title update
Didn't
3
know that.
will include Chaotic Gore Magala, Risen Kushala Deora, and Risen Teostra. Next, it showed that in title update
What was that?
Title Update 3 will include Chaotic Gore Magala, Risen Kushala, leaking various monsters, and sure enough, they've been correct. It stated correctly that in Title Update 3 will include Chaotic Gore Magala, Risen Kushala Deora,
leaks.
and Risen Teostra. Next, it showed that in Title
Huh?
Update 4, it will include
Said
a
the
risen
leaks.
form of Shigara Magala, and interestingly enough, a returning monster from Iceborne. And additionally, new Turf War animations were
Man,
leaked.
he doesn't use dark
Now,
mode.
one thing to note is that every
Hey,
monster
quiet
in
with
the
that
game
doesn't
has
look
some
like
sort
Halo,
of
okay? I
unique
just saw that
ID
right now.
number. And in these new Turf War animations, sure enough, one of these code numbers belongs
We're
to
getting
a
to it, we're
monster
getting
from
to it.
Iceborne.
Actually, I should check.
Right, so first off, a risen Shigara Magala could seem possible, seeming how all 3
4
forms
minutes.
of the Magalas
Hold
are
on.
present in
We're almost
Sunbreak
there.
now. Plus, it would make perfect sense story-wise for the Shigara Magala.
We're
with
You know what you
gonna
should
go-
do?
frenzy gimmick
You should.
clashing with
Oh, I was gonna say you should do a paid
as a
advertisement
whole,
or get
this
paid
is the most
advertisement.
plausible inclusion for another Elder Dragon
Back to
joining
you
the Risen
after
gang.
these short
Although
messages,
we
and then
still have Elder Dragons like the Valstrax,
After
or
short-
Well, I
Xehanort,
technically
or
get
the
paid for
All-Mother,
ads
so there is
on,
still a chance that it will
on
not
Twitch
be
already.
Shigaru, at least for the winter update.
It's just a
Personally,
little
for
bit
me,
though, as long as
I
fewer
don't
people are watching.
particularly mind to have more
And they
Risen
watch the
monsters,
ads.
as they are a perfect endgame content, mainly for new armor sets or more so, challenging quests for people
And also
who've
that is
done
not
what's
muted.
left for the game. However, at the same time, I feel as though they don't really give the same amount of excitement or fun because essentially they're more buffed up versions of their original counterparts, which I ended up calling these Risen monsters Sunbreak's equivalent to Arc-Tempered monsters, but with more explosions. Although I
More
wouldn't write off these
explosions.
Risen dragons completely though.
You ever find
Sunbreak
the
is a
Arc-Tempered
G-rank
monsters
game,
in
so more challenging
World and
content
Iceborne?
getting added to the DLC should be
I
welcomed
don't
with
think I
open
did, no.
arms. Right, with the new Risen candidate out of the way,
No puede
let's get
ser,
into the main
sembra.
topic for the gossip. This returning
canto?
entry from Iceborne. Going back to that leaked Turf
Playing
War
in Spanish.
animation, the particular ID number that's attached to it, EM124, belongs to Volcana of all things. Now do keep in mind that this info was taken from the main source that I mentioned earlier, which got taken down, so in essence I'm going into this blind. Okay, so going further into this, I found more and more mentions of Iceborne's flagship monster being grouped into Title Update 4, with small details such as this returning Iceborne monster being affected by the anti-flight jewel. The Volcana, being a flagship of Iceborne as well as a flying monster, fits quite
Just don't-
perfectly
I don't
into these
get why
rumors,
they
and the
chose
further you go
Volcana.
down this topic, the more it becomes clear
doesn't-
that this ice dragon could be
I mean,
next in
I
line
guess
to
we need
come
more ice
back.
monsters, right?
And how fitting would it
Yeah.
be for
It's just
Iceborne's
that, like,
flagship
where
to
else is this
return
thing
in
gonna
a
be?
winter
It's just gonna be in
update?
the snow
It
level,
all
that's it.
comes into place when you think about it. So, with the leaks and data mines out of the way, and Volcana being our main topic for
Maybe
discussion, what do we make of it?
God, I
In
forgot the
last
name of the
week's
other
video,
level.
I've said that the Amatsu felt like something that should come to rise
The
sooner
Citadel?
rather than
Yeah,
later,
Citadel.
from her aesthetics alone
The
to how the
Citadel.
game that she
Probably gonna be
came
the Citadel
from
in
felt similar to
Frozen
Rise.
area, that's it.
Portable Third's Elder Dragon will return, and surprisingly a lot of people are looking forward to her returning, myself included. So, what about Volcana? Well, for one, I'm actually glad that we're moving away from more fire monsters being added to Sunbreak. Yes, I know the title for the DLC should give it away that adding more fire monsters would make sense, but quite literally I prefer some more variety with regards to the things that I'm fighting. Plus, Aurora Somnicanth and Lunagaron are fine, but a post-game Ice-type monster would be something that I'd actually be looking forward to, seeming how the endgame of Sunbreak consists mostly of anomaly investigations. And with
The
regards
very
to
end of the
Volcana's
game
return,
of when you beat
there are
Amatsu,
surprisingly a
cutscene,
lot of factors to look
is gonna
forward
have
to.
the sun
Volcana's
breaking through the
armor
sky
and
of the
weapons
storm
were
that we
great back
cleared.
in Iceborne, so we could see a
Isn't
return
always like
of
that?
Frostcraft skill
What?
coming back. Her
Isn't it
fight
always like
rate
that?
can
Yeah,
change
exactly.
to be
That's what
more
I'm saying. That's why they call
fast-paced
the
to keep
Sunbreak
up
was
with
in
the
the title.
Wirebug mechanic, plus I do rate her theme song, and especially her arc-tempered theme. Also, to be honest, there really hasn't been a proper world presence in Sunbreak. We only got returning world monsters in Rise, and after that,
I would have
nothing.
preferred Nergigante.
No
to be honest, though.
Legiana, no Aldebaran, not even Nergigante. So something as strong as the Velkhana
Yeah, he was
being
cool.
added to Sunbreak could give the roster more depth and variety, and also difficulty. So seeing the return of Velkhana is surprisingly enough something that I would actually look forward to, and her addition to the Sunbreak roster would definitely diversify the post-game. Once again, I do not hate the anomaly investigations taking so much of the endgame content, but having to face newer, more stronger monsters like the Violet Mizitsune, Chaotic Gore Magala, and potentially the Volcana would really give the Sunbreak player base more things to fight than just leveling up their afflicted investigations. Of course, she isn't entirely perfect though, given the fact that Iceborne is still fairly a recent
Well,
addition
hopefully
to
they
the
make
series.
Volcana fun then.
Having his
Better
flagship
than not,
comeback
like, fighting
kinda
Volcana
dampens the
world.
surprise for the update. Plus there's still
Yeah,
a
he was
lot
very,
more monsters that loads of other people
very
would
minimal
rather
in
see
attacks.
come back, all the way to past
They
generations.
only had like maybe 3 or
So
4.
seeing Volcana, a flagship monster
Volcana had
that
a lot of
was just introduced a
AoE
few
attacks,
years ago,
so,
have priority
which
over
is
other
fine.
monsters, seems a bit weird.
But like when it was
Additionally,
actually
even though
when it
she's
was
the cover
trying to
star
fight
for
you like
Iceborne,
by
for
itself,
some players she
I mean,
isn't
like this
really
right
the
here, when
best
it's in its
monster to
normal
come
mode,
out of Iceborne's
Mhm.
pretty
roster.
boring.
Some people like Runa Nergigante,
But I mean,
some people
this
like
is-
Shari's Valda. Come to think of it, there are loads of monsters in Iceborne that pretty much stole Volcana's spotlight afterwards. Safi'jiiva, Namiel, Raging Brachydios. I mean, for me, she was a solid storyline monster, and her presence in Iceborne was big, but after beating her and once you've reached the post-game, she really hasn't been relevant until the release of her arc-tempered version. And I know opinions are subjective, but the
Yeah.
general consensus for Volcana
It's
is
done.
fairly mixed,
Alright,
with
let's
some
get
people
dudes.
either loving the Elder Dragon and
What was
others
this?
calling her mediocre.
Alright, y'all. We're ready to go.
Y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. I was playing through the first level
You were?
already.
Just
Yeah,
checking it out.
yeah, I got through it already.
Wait, what's
Pretty
happening?
quickly.
What is this
Yeah.
window? How many hours do you have on Halo already? Like on the collection?
Like 36? Not very much.
Still more than me. I only got 14.
I beat all of them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How was Halo 4? I've never played that one.
It's different because you're fighting basically android-like monsters or
Oh.
an android race the entire time. Just like it's basically like Destiny.
Ah. Ooh. No.
Yeah.
Okay, now my game doesn't want to open. What the fuck?
Language.
Excuse me. Oh, God damn it. Steam, there are just times that you really frustrate me. Like, now I can... Now nothing is happening. Yeah, I think I gotta close my Steam completely now. It's freaking great. It's beautiful, I love it. Is my internet just not working or what? I mean, obviously I'm still here.
Physically, you're here.
I think I'm gonna have to close my Steam completely. Google Chrome, the hell? Steam, go away. Alright. And I didn't. Okay. Why does it keep coming back? Why does it keep coming back? He's coming back. Oh, say something else. Alright, now let's reopen it.
I've only completed 20% of the Master Chief Collection as far as achievements go. That's pretty sad. Just pretty sad.
Alright, I'm gonna re-host the stream just to cut through all that bullshit we just went through.
Why? You don't like the bullshit?
Well, I mean, this bullshit's gonna be on its own episode. I'm gonna rename it.
I'm gonna name it bullshit.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll just say it sucks. I fucked up. I don't know. But, yeah, we'll be right back. I will, rehost it right now. Bye.
After these short messages.